today I thought I could go over 5 different playful ideas, exercises, techniques that you can do in your sketchbook so you can start creating just from your imagination. And these 5 exercises I tend to use when I feel kind of stuck, like today. So let's create this list. Let me zoom in. So the first one I'm going to talk about is, I'm going to call it the memory game. The memory game is where you draw small boxes and fill a whole page, or even a spread. I think it looks nicer when it's a spread. Going to So you fill, I'm going to do 4 rows. And you are going to think of the day, the yesterday, or maybe the morning, or you could even think of a favorite memory of yours that you have. And you are going to fill these boxes with visual elements that brought you joy during that moment, that memory, that day. And it could be anything. It could be an insignificant thing. It could be a hairbrush because you really liked how you did your hair that day. It could be a ladybug that you saw. It could be the wind because it just felt so nice against your skin. It could be anything. But so you're going to create different images. So for example, I'm going to take one of my favorite memories because that's the first thing that came to mind, not because it's the most important, but I'm just going to take a memory of mine, and I need to look for something where I like that one. I'm going to draw a turtle because it was the day I was visiting my former home. I used to live in Florida, right next to the Gulf of Mexico. And because we lived on the beach, we still had our condo there, where we would go visit during, different holidays or vacation time. And there was a conservatory that took care of sea turtles. And the problem that they were having was that the sea turtles would get confused where to go because of the bright condo lights that were shining. And so what you would do is that you would go out when there was moonlight, when they were hatching, and guide them to the ocean. And I remember having a flashlight and walking with these sea turtles and guiding them. And there were these small, tiny things that could fit in your hand. And I was a kid. I was like 14 or 13 or 12. I can't remember what age I was. But I would hold these sea turtles in my hand. They were just so beautiful. And you would see how they would scurry off in the sand. So I'm going to do a sea turtle. I'm going to do the moon. It was a full moon. Do the sea here. I remember the sand and my feet, so I'll just draw some feet here with like rolled up pants. Now this exercise, it's just to be free, so it does not need to be perfect in the slightest. And like with feet, since I don't have a reference, my feet are going to be very wonky. Have the toes sticking out, and then sand. It's supposed to be sand. I remember, oh, the flashlight. So let's draw the flashlight. And I'll draw a hand holding it. Flashlight. What else do I remember? Oh, yeah, there are these posts here. So they would block off the area where they would lay their eggs so that it would be undisturbed. And you would see a hole here. And here's the beach. And we all had t-shirts. With a turtle on them. What else do I remember? I remember looking back at the apartment buildings, and there were some that still had their lights on, but a lot of them were darkened out because we would send letters and flyers to all the buildings to make sure that they turned off their lights for the sea turtles. So, and that's how you keep on. Keep on. You can recall like what you ate that day. Like I probably had like a grilled cheese sandwich or something because this was when I was a kid. I can draw the melted cheese. Really, as you can see, it's not. And I would cut the crusts off. Since I was a kid, now I think I would watch Nickelodeon. So most likely this was when I was like more like 10 or so. Nickelodeon. Um, oh, I remember back then, my favorite dessert would be mint chocolate chip. Ice cream. Yum. I can't eat it anymore. So that's the memory game. Memory game. Another one is oh, what was it? I already had these all in my mind. What's the name? Another one is to draw your dream. So here, it looks really weird. And the idea, again, just like the memory game, is not to draw perfections. It's just to get it out there and feel kind of loose. So yesterday I was super tired. I've been having issues with sleep. I've always had issues with sleep. And I had this really vivid and disturbing dream. And so I was drawing a bit of that and writing it down. And then at the same time, I wanted to continue because I like having both sides of the spread be the same thing. Like I always have that. So I was like, okay, what would be like the, not the slogan, the mascot for someone that just can't sleep? So a night owl, but it has this like these to sleep, these that cover your eyes. Oh my God, what are they called? Like the sleep mask on their head. And he's just like, what am I supposed to do? I can't fall asleep. And so then all of a sudden that led to this like Sandman type creature with a bag of dreams, but he's just going to give me the creepiest dreams. And then all of a sudden, this like angry bird type creature, but with a tail, was telling me to go to bed and looking up at me as if it were in the sketchbook very angrily. And then I just drew myself going to bed. And so I was able to fill kind of the page, and I could have continued, but my sketchbook told me to go to bed, so I did. So draw your dreams, and then it'll just kind of continue on and creating different images. It'll make you view things and visualize things, and you can put that then down on your paper. Another activity that I like to do is to draw your surroundings. So here I just had my pen. I had these two. I had my pen, PN Micron, and this right here. This, I still don't know what it's called, but it's from Pentel. It says here Pentel Japan FRH, but it's gray, as you can see. I love these. These are like my go-to. That's all I need to be happy in life, to draw. And I just started drawing. Now, the perspective isn't the best. Like, there's some things that are too close or too big. They should have been smaller. But what I did is I drew a dot, just one dot, drew the dot. That's where the perspective was going to be. And then everything from that dot, I was able to easily not really draw a line, but just like drag my pen against the page and then start drawing things. So for the window, I did like this dot, dot, and then I would draw things so that perspective was kind of there. This is just a 1 point perspective, very easy, of my living room. My son was there reading a book. I was hoping, since I started with these shelves just as the starting point, what was directly in front of me. I wanted to include him more, but at least I was able to get him into the corner. And this, again, it filled the whole page. Once I started, I just continued on, and I still need to go in and like darken some of these areas here. But adding this is just like magic. It really brings illustrations to life. So, third one, draw your surroundings. Another one that I like to do is pick a motive, find different reference pictures, and draw them. Pick a topic. So here it's Kung Fu, which I need to write that. I wanted to write in bubble letters. Let's draw it here. Kung Fu. Oops. Okay. Yeah, so you just pick a topic. So here I went onto Pinterest and I just looked for reference pictures of Kung Fu. I think I saved, yeah, so here, as you can see, these are additional ones because I really enjoy the dynamic poses and I really wanted to continue. So here's one of them holding the water buckets. Here's another one I wanted to draw. Here's another one. And then you'll just keep on finding more and more and more. Like this one looks amazing with the swords. Wow, beautiful. So yeah, so I really liked it. And then when you're drawing them, you will see the first one is going to be crappy. The second one might also be crappy. Even the third one. But the fourth and the fifth one looked much better. I mean, look at this last one compared to this first one or second one. I mean, it's the best thing. And then you just get into it because you warm yourself up. So that's the fourth one. Pick a topic. And another one that I would suggest you do is put on your favorite show and start drawing. Here you can see I just paused it and I started to draw. Paused it, started to draw. Paused it, started to draw. And sometimes it won't work out, but hey, at least you tried. So put on the TV. And I'm going to add a bonus 6-1 of ask yourself a ridiculous question. For example, you could draw a leaf on a page. Or even better, for example, I was talking the other day about AI replacing teachers. So what would a robot look like as a teacher? So that's what I did it, a robot as a teacher. Another one could be, what would a punk look like on a little pony with a balloon? So I drew that. Or another one would be, need to find a clear page. This is the next page. Let's do it here. Who could be holding this leaf? Just find an object and think what's below it, what's behind it, what's next to it. Who would own it? So I'm going to say it is going to be a mouse that's holding this leaf. And he's leaning over. He has his hand over here. Hmm. Well, his arm is way too big now. Oh well, he's wearing a cape. Or maybe like a poncho type thing. Why a poncho? Don't know why. Probably because it's too much space there. That's who's holding the leaf. And maybe he has a little sombrero on. Like Speedy Gonzales. See? Ridiculous question. Who was holding the leaf? So those are my 5 plus 1 extra play exercise. ideas. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you next time. Bye.